I'll introduce myself to our guest. My name is Daniel Banier. I'm the director of Osher Lifelong Learning. I want to welcome our OLLI members and thank our OLLI members for bringing your friends and family here today. I also see some of our faculty that are teaching in Spring 2 in the audience as well. So today is an opportunity for you to get to know more about Osher Lifelong Learning, also get a free 1-hour seminar, and also get to mingle and meet some of our students in our Osher Lifelong Learning and get to know about our program. Our guest today, this time we're doing it this way. Maybe next time we'll do it a different way. Anybody that is a guest that is not a student of our program should have got a raffle ticket when you first signed in. If you did not, make sure you get one. At the end of our presentation today, I will pull 2 people for the raffle, and they will get, from our guest, and they will get a free course of their choice. So 2 people will get a free course today. If you already registered and you are a winner, we'll figure that part out later. I didn't think about that until just now, but I'm glad you registered already. With that being said, I don't want to take any more time. Today, just to give you the agenda for our Zoom members and also you all here, what's going to happen today is we're going to get an hour lecture by BJ Fan, and then after that, Catherine Crowley and Shayna Celine are going to present about Osher Lifelong Learning and share about what our program does. And then at the end, there'll be an opportunity to register for classes. If you're interested in registering, there will be no pressure here, but we do encourage you to register today. Classes are selling out as we speak, and get the opportunity to mingle with each other. Like I said, there's plenty of food. I've purchased a lot of food, so make sure I don't take it home, okay? Because I can't eat any of it. It's not gluten-free. I can't have any of it. If I take it home, I'll get sick, so you have to eat it here. Deal? You guys ready? All right, let's give it a round of applause to BJ Fan again. He's coming up.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel. Well, welcome everybody. And my name is BJ Fan. I'm a member of OLLI since I retired a long time ago. So I'm an instructor, but I'm also a student and volunteer at OLLI. And OLLI is not just a great community for the mental stimulation, but it's also a social community. And we made a lot of friends, social friends, and through OLLI. So, and I hope you will join OLLI and meet some of the most fascinating and interesting people here. So, all right, without further ado, and today we're going to talk about how to prevent the dementia using Qigong. So how many of you have heard of Qigong? So most people are, they know. So, all right. Let's first start and okay, I want to first talk about today we're focusing on the dementia. So really now I want to talk first I'll play a video talking about the risk. This is a very recent research just published this year. Okay.
A new study suggests the number of dementia cases will skyrocket over the next few decades. Right now, nearly 7 million Americans aged 65 and older are estimated to be living with dementia. That's according to the Alzheimer's Association. Tonight, Jeremiah Jacobson looks at what is driving the predicted increase and what needs to happen to change that upward trend.
It's a disease of the brain that leads to mental decline. While dementia is typically diagnosed in older adults, experts say it's not a normal part of aging. But a new study projects by 2060, more than 2 in 5, or 42% of adults over age 55 in the U.S. will develop dementia in their later years.
My reaction to that number was, no way, that's not right.
Michael Fang is lead author of the study published in the journal Nature Medicine. Despite his disbelief, he says researchers continue to run the numbers with the same result. Shocking, as their dementia risk projections are twice as high as previous studies, estimating about 1 million people a year will be diagnosed with dementia by 2060.
There's this baby boom generation that is coming to sort of reaching that age where dementia is much more common, right? And this is a big cohort of individuals. So the country getting older is the big driving factor.
Fang says the trend can turn with nationwide policy changes aimed at early prevention and detection, but he says it's also up to individuals.
If you live a sort of healthy lifestyle in
Okay, can Zoom people hear the sound? There's,
No.
No?
I can hear it, it's just not real loud on my
Yeah,
end.
I turned mine a little bit louder on the computer to get it up, but it's definitely lower.
all right,
I
let's
can
just
hear it
replay.
perfectly.
Okay, thank you for bearing with us. We're going to try again.
Dementia cases will skyrocket over the next few decades. Right now, nearly 7 million Americans aged 65 and older are estimated to be living with dementia. That's according to the Alzheimer's Association. Tonight, Jeremiah Jacobson looks at what is driving the predicted increase and what needs to happen to change that upward trend.
It's a disease of the brain that leads to mental decline. While dementia is typically diagnosed in older adults, experts say it's not a normal part of aging. But a new study projects by 2060, more than 2 in 5, or 42% of adults over age 55 in the U.S. will develop dementia in their later years.
My reaction to that number was, no way, that's not right.
Michael Fang is lead author of the study published in the journal Nature Medicine. Despite his disbelief, he says researchers continue to run the numbers with the same result. Shocking, as their dementia risk projections are twice as high as previous studies, estimating about 1 million people a year will be diagnosed with dementia by 2060.
There's this baby boom generation that is coming to sort of reaching that age where dementia is much more common, right? And this is a big cohort of individuals. So the country getting older is the big driving factor.
Fang says the trend can turn with nationwide policy changes aimed at early prevention and detection, but he says it's also up to individuals.
If you live a sort of healthy lifestyle in your 30s and your 40s and your 50s, and you sort of maintain that over time, then when you reach the later stages of your life, your chances of developing dementia are reduced.
Fang says that includes avoiding diabetes and high blood pressure, as well as not smoking.
We don't think that this means that we're sort of just stuck to this fate.
Researchers also found that women are more likely to get dementia than men, probably because they tend to live longer. They say African Americans are also more likely to have the disease than Caucasians. And finally, research shows anyone who has a dementia risk from both parents is at a higher risk of developing the disease.
Okay, so that's the latest research just published January this year, and by a team of the collaborators from Johns Hopkins, from the NYU, from the National Institute of Aging and the Mayo Clinic. So this is a very comprehensive study. And think about that, 42%, that means 2 out of 5 of us will have dementia. I'm not here to stigmatize the dementia, but that's something we need to be minded, really, because it will take a toll on the family, on yourself, and a lot of money too. So this is the risk we're facing, and
a new study.
So now let's talk about the Alzheimer. Alzheimer is a major part of the dementia. Okay, so there are many, vascular dementia and Lewy body dementia, but Alzheimer is the number one. So in the past, in the scientific community, our focus is really on the plaque tangle, which is amyloid beta and tau plaques. So if you see that this yellow part is tau, and the other part here, they're amyloid beta. So they're the protein aggregates that developed in our brain. So as they accumulate more and more, as we're aging, they're going to kill some of the neurons. So that really causes the cognitive decline. So that's the mechanism that we thought that was the main key driver for dementia. So for Alzheimer. So, but then since 1995. So we have almost, like 3,388 trials, clinical trials. And we spend $42.5 billion as an industry. So, and what we got? So what we got is we have 5 drugs that can relieve symptoms. They cannot do much rather than relieve symptoms. For example, if you don't sleep well, you take a drug, okay, that'll probably help you sleep. All right, or you will have high anxiety, and then they'll probably reduce the anxiety, but it would not really help your cognition. So, and then there's 2 new drugs just recently approved in the last 2 years. And what they can do is they slow down the progression of Alzheimer's disease. And meaning they cannot reverse it or improve it. They can only slow down. That sounds like a kill you softly. So it really, to me, well, number one, all these studies with the thousands of trials were targeting this plaque tangles. We try to reduce it. And so like as we age, everybody has these plaques in our body, in our blood system. So, but as we get more and more, and of course it is a factor, but it's not the only factor. So because we spend, so much money and so many trials, that tells us it's not working. We don't really truly understand the mechanism of Alzheimer's disease. So that's so far is the status. But interestingly, there's a new drug. That's only one drug in the world that has been approved in China, which reversed the progression, meaning they can improve the cognition. Interestingly, they are targeting the inflammation. So because inflammation, particularly the neural inflammation in our brain, plays an important role in the development of the dementia. So their success, at least they give us a different idea that we should target. Because their success told us, yes, you should you should focus on the target. And the plaque is not the primary target for this drug, but they also, in addition to the inflammation, they also decreased the alpha amyloid beta and tau plaques. So that's almost like a side effect. So, and so that tells us that this disease is very complex. So we know that the plaques and the inflammation are 2 major contributing factors to the disease. Are there other more? Probably we just don't know that very well. So, and so this is the what we know so far. And so now comes to the Qigong. So, and Qigong decreases the plaque and the inflammation. So it also improves the cognitive function. So we're going to talk about a lot of evidence and data. So, and so this is all about, and I actually just finished a class on the Qigong and for self-healing. So, and some of you probably are in my class. And so today we only have 1 hour, so we just give you a brief summary of Qigong for dementia prevention. So what is Qigong? Okay, so the first, what is Qi? Qi is the vital energy that flows in our body and sustains our bodily function. So that's, everybody has energy, because if you don't have energy, you won't be here. So, and at rest, if we don't do anything, just sitting there, our body generates roughly about 75 watts in energy. It's like a light bulb. You have a light bulb, that's 75 watts. So that's how much energy. If just doing nothing, just sitting there or lying down, that's how our body generates energy. But if we sprint, we do the very intense exercise, the energy we can generate up to the 2,000 watts. So that gives you the idea how much energy is in our body flowing through our body. But most time we don't sense that we have energy. But sometimes you do. You feel okay. I'm not. I'm lacking of energy today, or my energy level is low. You have a sense. So it's not like you don't know. You have fatigue. You do. You do know. We have this energy. So, and then what is Qigong? The Gong here, this is Chinese words. Okay, Qigong is a skill, basically. It's a skill, it's an ability to control Qi. So, and it is developed in 3 ways: deep breathing, mindful meditation, and gentle stretching. So, and we're going to cover this. But that's the 3 pillars of Qigong. So it is free. It is easy, and it's effective. So all you need to do is you need to spend time. So, and now let's talk about the deep breathing. So I'm going to, this is actually a video produced by the Johns Hopkins Medical School, talk about how you do the deep breathing. So you might just follow this.
Mind. Let's practice. Sit or lie down in a comfortable position. Begin by taking a deep breath in and a long, relaxing breath out. The idea here is to achieve a slow and steady breath. Go ahead and place one hand on your chest and your other on your abdomen, if this feels comfortable for you. Now try and keep your chest rather still and have your abdomen expand and contract as you deeply breathe. Some people find it helpful to count while they take their deep breaths. For example, you may count like this: in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. This counting can help you with consistency. Try to practice this regularly a few times throughout the day for a few minutes. It will relax you physically and mentally during times of stress.
All right, so you see how easy it is? Okay, so I think everybody can master this technique. So, and it really is that easy. So what does it do? Really, what does deep breathing do? It alters physiology. By balancing the autonomic nerve system, which is the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system, that regulates our body functions. The sympathetic nervous system really is the activity for the fight, and we decide to fight and flight. So, and the other one, the parasympathetic, is rest and digest. So, and these 2 systems need to be in balance. So if it's off balance, then we'll really create all kinds of diseases. So, and in today's life, the modern life, we are inundated with the stress. As I said, you don't have to have like a mountain lion chasing after you. You consider that's is a stress. We're talking about the very mundane and simple activities. For example, you have a paper cut, you spilled milk or something, and the worst is the ding of your cell phone, because you constantly hear the ding, and then your brain responds constantly saying, "Oh, there's something important. I need to take care of this right now." So that's what it does. Really, it changes the physiology simply by deep breathing. So, and it lowers heart rate, blood pressure, and muscle tension, pain, stress, and it improves sleep, energy, and well-being. So, and John just told me, and he went to a doctor to have, vital sign measured, and he just deep breathed, so the blood pressure went down. It is free, simple, and effective. So, and any questions on the deep breathing? Yeah.
Does it matter if you're standing or sitting or how you should sit or?
No, it just
Doesn't matter,
Yeah, it doesn't
okay.
matter. You can lie down. You can. I tend to just lie down usually in the morning, and then when I wake up,
Yeah.
that's the first thing I do. I spend time to do that. So, but you can anytime, anywhere. So, all right. So I want to focus on how deep breathing can reduce Alzheimer risk. Okay, so this is a research come out from USC, UCLA, and UC Irvine. So they did it together. So let's look some of the reporting up here. 1, 2.
3 brilliant minutes with our brilliant Brad, and this one,
we have so far. Okay?
all right.
With this in mind, I finally get to today's research from the University of Southern California. Study provides evidence that breathing exercises may reduce Alzheimer's risk. Are you ready for this? It's easy. Inhale for a count of 5, then exhale for a count of 5. It's an easy
That's beyond
exercise.
easy. Yeah.
Here's where the problem lies.
Okay.
You have to do it for 20 minutes, twice a day. That's 40 minutes a day. In the study, all of the participants, there were about 200 of varying ages, did it for 4 weeks. But at the end of 4 weeks, everybody, no matter what their age, had lower levels of these amyloid beta plaques or proteins in their bodies. So there may be something there, but as you've seen, it's very time intensive and it requires a lot of dedication and discipline. Yeah. But they say regularly practicing slow paced breathing might be a low cost and low risk way to reduce those proteins and maybe keep healthy throughout life.
If the trade-off is avoiding Alzheimer's, that's not a big time commitment.
Yeah, and this might be one of those things, Chris, where a lot of times one bit of research leads to
something else.
Yeah,
right.
so
and it probably leads to better mental health too, right? So
yeah,
it's almost like meditation.
Absolutely. Sure. Now, speaking of our heads,
3 brilliant minutes.
All right. So here is the summary. The exercise, you just inhale for 5 seconds and exhale for a count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just your belly breathing. So, and in the research, they did it for 4 weeks, and then they asked the subject to do that for 20 minutes twice a day. So, any questions? And the result is they measured the plaques, and everybody from young to old, I'm talking about from 30s to the 80s, everybody reduced their amyloid and tau plaques level as much as 40%.
Must that be consistent to do it for 20 minutes twice a day, or could you do it 10 minutes 4 times a day?
Well, the study, they have a protocol. They have to follow a certain method. Do you want, you do 20 or 30, 50, you probably have to do research. I don't think that research covers every scenario, but this is one scenario that they covered. Okay.
Okay.
I think the message is very clear here. All right. So just by doing breathing, you can reduce the plaques. So, and it's easy, it's simple, it's free. Now let's talk about meditation. Okay. So how do we do meditation?
meditation is easier than you think. Actually, you can meditate everywhere, anytime, under any circumstances. It's just awareness. So what we call the essence of meditation is awareness. Awareness meaning knows what you are thinking, what you are feeling, what you are doing. That is awareness. The knowingness knows. So many people think meditation is something which is very difficult. So empty mind, don't think of anything, concentration, like that, you know. So that is the misunderstanding about the meditation. So actually, meditation, you don't have to do anything like block the thought or create special state of mind, peace, calm. No need. Just simply be. So as long as if you're aware of something and then maintain that awareness, that is the meditation. So, but of course, sometimes when we meditate like that, then a lot of thought pop up in our mind, like to-do list. I have to do this. I need to talk to that person. I have this important deadline. Am I wasting time? How can I know I'm doing right or wrong? So all this comes. So that's normal. So when I was young, first time when I meditate, I have all these things comes. Sometimes I completely forget to listen to sound. And then suddenly I remember, oh, I forget again. So that's okay, no problem. You can try again, listen to sound, forget, listen to sound, forget. So that is the sound meditation. So today, please practice after this. So when you go out or when you go at your workplace, just listen. So you can listen to any sound, not necessarily with the gong, ringing the bell. So just listen to sound everywhere, anytime. Okay.
All right, the meditation part, as he pointed out, is not that hard. So you need to be aware of the present moment. Okay, so where your present moment, you're not thinking other things, either in the future or what happened in the past. Just think where you are and at exactly that moment. So I think it is very easier to help you to focus on one thing. So that one thing could be internal sensation. For example, I would suggest focus on your breathing. So your belly up and down, you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But you have to focus your mind on your breathing. Or you can focus on some foreign or external object or something like, for example, a tree, where you can, or the sound. So just focus on one thing, bring your mind to the present moment. So now let's talk about some evidence of what does meditation do. And meditation protects brain. There are so many studies actually on the meditation and its benefits on our mental health and the physicals as well. So okay, I looked through all the research literatures. There's just too many. So and what I found a Japanese study that indicated that the meditation can prevent neuronal loss and cognitive impairment. So it highlights the potential of meditation in supporting the brain health. So, and all this in the West, I think that the study started in the 1970s when Harvard cardiologist, Dr. Benson, who found that the monks, the Tibetan monks, they can regulate their blood pressure just by this meditation. And while as a specialist, they use drugs and they still have a hard time to control the blood pressure. So they wonder, what does the meditation do? So they sent out a research team to Tibet and they study, and they found, yes, the meditation has a lot benefit in terms of our mental health and the physical health. So also the mindfulness reduce amyloid beta, the plaque. So, and this is a Canadian study. They found that that if you do the mindfulness meditation, that you can reduce the amyloid beta and tau plaque, and also indicating a protective effect against Alzheimer pathology. So. All right, and there's another study come out of just recently come out of University of Florida, and they found that the meditation boosts our immune system. So how does it works? It actually, during the meditation, it changes the expression of 220 genes in our immune system. So this expression of genes is really is a switch. So it turns on and off. Even though you carry the genes, like the genetic, you carry the risk gene, it does not mean it's going to activate it. So that it's only the activation of that gene, or we call it expression of the gene, that really causes the Alzheimer problem. But here, for the immune system, as meditation can do that. They can actually boost our immune system by, changing the expression of the genes. And the immune system can be activated through meditation voluntarily without any medicine. So that's just, I think it's quite amazing. So you can do that. So, but what does our immune system do? It can fight the inflammation. So it's anti-inflammatory. So, and so this was just published 2021. So. Okay, now we talk about deep breathing. We talk about meditation. Any questions so far? Okay. Now let's talk about the third pillar of the Qigong, which is the stretching.
How much meditation?
Yes.
Daily time in meditation?
Say your question again.
Yeah. How much time should we spend on meditation every day?
How much you should spend? Well, in the research, they have to have certain ways to conduct research. Usually, I think they're limited to the 20 minutes to 30 minutes so that people can do. So, all right.
Okay.
Yes.
And the breathing be 2 in 1.
Yes. Yes, exactly. That's what I do. When I meditate, I always focus on my breathing. So I'm doing actually 2 in 1. They usually in Qigong is always connected, but in some meditation, particularly spiritual meditation, they don't necessarily combine. They can just sit there, work on their fast on their mind. So it's like empty their mind. So. Okay, so this stretching is just like most people have seen Tai Chi, right? So everyone know what is Tai Chi. So Qigong has 3,000 years history. Over the 3,000 years history in China, it developed so many different forms. And Tai Chi is one of hundreds or thousand forms. So let's just see what do they do here. Just give you an example. just example, what you do. So when I was young, I learned Tai Chi from my parents. I thought it was so boring. I thought, they're so slow. I would rather do something, fast. So do aerobic. But now as I get older, as I learn more about it, there's so much benefit. If you look at all this gentle and slow stretching and movement, number one, the slowness is dictated by your deep breathing. All right. Okay. And the second is, as you go through this routine, your mind really focused on what you're supposed to do, right? So that's really focused on the present moment. So, and then all this movement like this, can you do that? I mean, that's not easy, but they do that through years of practice, the balance. And I think this is, as we age, the number one risk for our well-being is a fall. So it's the balance. So, and then you look at these people, they can, they can do all kinds of stuff. So, question?
Talking about balance is using falling, and they do these big kicks. I mean, I
don't think you can do that just, now. I think they started when they were able to do that. So I don't, if
hard to take up something when you're older.
Well, when you're getting older, you need to be mindful of your balance. If you're not good, you should not do some of the wrist movement. So.
But you can learn.
Yeah, you can learn, you can get better. I have a friend who are 80 years old. After this class, started to pick up the Tai Chi online on her own. And so she said her balance is dramatically improved. So.
City of Ventura gives 2 free Tai Chi classes a week, and they do it over 12 weeks, 3 times a year.
Yeah.
And I think Camarillo is starting to
Yes.
be similar.
Camarillo Senior Center and probably a lot of senior community, they offer free classes. So
I'm just gonna say the healthcare district in Camarillo has Tai Chi for arthritis and balance.
Yeah.
And it's much milder for those of us who have balance
Yeah.
problems. So don't.
There's a lot of resources. Don't be intimidated by all this expert. I mean, yes, you see all they do is gracefully. Yes, of course they have done. Remember, they're producing this video for aesthetic purposes. So yeah.
Okay. Tai Chi, right?
Yeah, tried it.
Yeah.
My doctor said, my family doctor said, beware of falling, okay?
Yeah.
Now, this is all well and good because as you pointed out, and as the questions have pointed out, as you get older, your balance gets wobblier.
Yeah.
And so I think you've touched upon it, but for God's sake, don't get up there and try and do this quickly, otherwise you're in for trouble.
True. That's a great point. Excellent point. Actually, there are a lot more forms of Tai Chi on the simpler. This is designed actually for older adults. So, and they can do, you can actually sit. They're actually formed that you can sit and do this movement. So it's just be mindful, do not fall. Jim.
Recommendations for beginners?
Well, there are actually thousands. If you just type, there are thousands. And I think that Edie, my friend who started, she just picked one. I remember she told me the name is Adam Potts, Potts. So just look for his name and it's give you very simple. And some you can just type sitting Tai Chi if you cannot maintain your balance, so you can do that. So, all right.
Hello?
Yes, hold on. We have a question in the classroom. We'll get you later online.
I've been taking Pilates for several years, and one of the things we do is foundation training.
Yeah.
That's all about balance.
Okay, good.
I haven't fallen.
Good for you, Jane. Okay, all right. A question from online?
Yes, we've done silver sneakers. I'm 90 years old and I have a balance problem. We tried Tai Chi, but boy, I just can't stand up. I mean, just, fall. So we get rid of that, but I exercise every morning stretching using some of the silver sneaker stuff. Is that the equivalent, the same thing as Tai Chi? To exercise a different way?
Yeah, they're equivalent. There are thousands of forms. You just pick one, and that's suit you. So, and you don't necessarily to do this one that I'm showing it. So, and find something if you can do. If you have a balance issue, find some sitting form of Qigong or sitting Tai Chi. You can do that too. All right, and you can talk to. If you take a class with the community center or the healthcare district or your center community, and you can talk to them. So what is appropriate for you? All right. Okay, what is the benefit of the stretch? Okay, it improves balance, coordination, flexibility, and posture. This is very straightforward, right? It's very common sense. So it boosts energy level and blood circulation. It reduces muscle tension, stress, risk of fall, and most importantly, inflammation. So we have a study to show that simply by doing stretching, you can reduce inflammation. Inflammation is a big problem across the board, and that causes all kinds of diseases, particularly the neural inflammation will have impact on our cognitive ability. And so what about Qigong's clinical study? So if I do Qigong, what is the result? Okay, so now let's look at some of the cognitive functions affected by Qigong. So this is just, published on 2023, and it is a meta-analysis. So they analysis 17 randomized studies, randomized trial of Qigong, because a lot of people have really studied this. And it sounds foreign to you, but Qigong has received a lot of attention from the scientific community. So they have conducted more than 17, but this 17 studies, they have a certain criteria. And based on the certain criteria, they collected these 17 and pulled all their data together and made some analysis. What they found is that the Tai Chi and Qigong have beneficial effect on cognitive function in older adults. So that when they say the beneficial effect, that means that they can improve the cognitive score. So how do we know our cognition is good or bad? I mean, they have this cognitive test. Most of you are probably familiar. It's called mini-mental state exam or a Montreal, a cognitive assessment of Montreal trial. So you do those tests, and based on your score, they have a category, when you're about this level, you're normal, and this level, you're mildly impaired, and then further down, you get severe impaired cognitive. So we know how to measure the effect of Qigong. So, and then here is another study. It shows 1 year Qigong practice was significantly superior to stretching exercise, not only for the prevention, but also for the improvement of cognitive function in terms of memory, visual spatial reasoning, and the language. So, through 1 year practice, you can improve memory, not decline in memory, you can improve. I taught brain training, particularly on the memory. I mean, you told me, yeah, you practice, I practice every day. So I started, I can only recall 5 words. Now I have no problem recall 20. So it's practice. It's really priority. If you think it's important to you, you will do it. And people say, oh, I cannot do it. That means that's not important. So. All right. There's another randomized. This is another meta-analysis. They put together 15 randomized trial with about 1,000 patients. And they found that the mind-body exercise, 八段锦 Qigong, that's a particular form of Qigong. Some people call it 8 brocades. So that's the same name. And this Qigong could improve global cognitive function, memory function, executive function in older adults with cognitive impairment. So this study was done on those who already have a mild cognitive impairment. Even for those, they can improve. Don't wait too late. You know, when we go to severe impairment, usually it probably won't work. So we haven't seen a lot of strong evidence for people who have a severe impairment and they can improve. But this is mostly for the preventive medicine. So you can prevent while you're still good. Even your mild cognitive impairment, you can improve. Okay, so that's the message. Actually, there's a lot more as I researched this presentation and in my class. So I just think that these three studies give us pretty good idea what does Qigong do for our cognitive health. So any questions?
This is the Qigong, but I'd like to know what you feel about yoga.
No, I don't know about it. I'm sure yoga is a stretching. It has a lot of benefit, but I'm not familiar with yoga. And I don't know yoga is, I know it's a stretching. I actually practice Qigong, but I don't think that involved meditation. Does it?
Some do,
Some do.
There's
So,
a lot of different.
yeah, I cannot answer that because this is not about, this is not about yoga, so I cannot answer that. Other
BJ,
questions? Yes.
this is Linda Legman. I'm delighted to be here. Are you teaching Qigong now? And if so, where and how can I get involved?
I just finished a class on Qigong for 6 weeks, so you missed it. So,
I haven't been able to find Qigong locally. I did a weekend intensive 14 years ago, and I have found it difficult to find Qigong around here.
okay, I offered to teach a summer class, but that's just takes 2 hours. So probably in the park. So if you're interested and check out their catalog in the summer. Yeah.
Thank you.
Take it and put it on YouTube.
I'm wondering if Qigong and Tai Chi are very similar. Either extreme.
Yeah, the question is Qigong and Tai Chi are similar. Tai Chi is one particular form of Qigong. Qigong has 100 forms. So Tai Chi is one of them. Because Tai Chi becomes so classic, so they almost, people think it's one separate, but no, it's not. It's a part of one of many forms Qigong. So, Sue Ellen?
They teach Qigong at my park at Lockard Park in Camarillo on Wednesday afternoons. They teach it there at the park. I think it's about 3 o'clock.
Who is teaching it?
You know, I don't know the name of the person.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
let you know.
All right. Oh, good. Yeah, I'm glad that they're, is gaining some attention. So
Yes, there one other thing. Did you ever hear these 5 words? Stop and smell the roses. Doesn't that summarize it?
you're talking about the recall of 5 words?
Yes. Stop and smell the roses.
Oh. Okay. No, I don't know about that. Yeah. So in summary, Qigong is a practice of mind-body connection that decreases plaques and inflammation, 2 major contributing factors to Alzheimer's diseases. It improves cognitive functions. So I just present some data. So I hope that give you the idea why we're doing Qigong. So any questions?
Just one quick thing. In the Tai Chi around here, Ventura, Camarillo, we don't kick.
Okay, you don't kick, yeah. All right, so again, there's many simplified forms. So, so don't be intimidated by the video I showed you because I want to showcase some of the best. So, okay, I hope you will be part of OLLI because OLLI is such a wonderful community and it's it's my kind of people. So, thank you.
Is there time for another question?
Thank you. Thank you so much, BJ.
All right.
So now we're going to move on to the second part of our program, which is sharing more about what OLLI is, the history of OLLI, and more about our courses, focusing on our upcoming Spring 2 session, as well as our additional course offerings. So OLLI is at the core courses and intellectual stimulation, but also social connection through special events and local day trips. So we're going to talk more about that just shortly. Do you want to wear the headset or do you want to focus?
My first time doing this, be merciful. Can you hear?
You gotta hold it really close to your.
I just said, this is my first time doing this, so be merciful.
Testing, testing. Can everyone hear me okay? This is my first time wearing the headset, so I'm very excited about that. Okay.
I think